Welcome to the Running Channel podcast with me, Andy Badley, over there, Rick Kelsey, and the two of us might actually get a word in this week because someone is jetted off skiing. Sarah Hartley.
Oh, no Sarah this week. Yeah, she's gallivanted off to the French, Swiss, Italian or German Alps. Not sure which one.
You don't know, you weren't listening at all? No.
Should we sing her praises? Because we know she'll be listening to the introduction, so she'll just do that and get on with it.
No, I'm actually glad she's not here. I'm going to go
That's
hard.
Pretty harsh, actually.
Yeah, you guys didn't talk about me when I wasn't here.
So yeah, we didn't.
We shouldn't talk about her. And also, we've got an amazing guest today. Rick and I are going to catch up in a minute, and then we'll be joined by the amazing Hannah Cox, who not that long ago ran 100 marathons in 100 days across India in memory of her dad, which is an incredible story. And also, she only took up running 4 or 5 months before doing that, which is crazy.
Is the bit that gets me. 5 months before, she did not run. Yes, we're going to be talking to her about injury prevention, strength and conditioning, and basically how she conditioned her body in order to cope with that level of stress over such a long period of time.
Yeah, and when we get to it, we're going to ask her take on some stuff that's been happening in a few hot marathons around the world and what she thinks about giving out medals for certain finishers.
I've got a big opinion on that.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Okay, let's get into it.
Right.
So do you reckon that intro was better without Sarah?
Yeah.
That's what Owen just said off mic, wasn't it? Yeah, flawless, he said.
What, are we saying that when she's here, it goes wrong?
Yeah, she just ruins it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She should go away more often. I feel like she's never away, though. Don't you think? I feel like Andy's often away, but actually Sarah's not away that often.
No, she's taking a well-deserved break.
I'll tell you who was very much present, though, last week. Me.
In what?
In the heat.
In life? Only heat, yes.
7 degrees.
So yes, it was a balmy 7 degrees when Rick had to do his most recent long run.
But the sun was out in the UK, and we've not seen, some parts of Britain have not seen the sun for months.
Oh, it literally has rained every day in certain parts of the UK. Yeah. And then you posted a lovely picture to me on WhatsApp first, I think, then in the Running Channel Club, and then also on Strava. There's a video on the Running Channel Club, and then just a lovely frame from that video on on Strava.
You were actually very kind and considerate, and you said, "How are you?" Because I've been talking about how the mileage is getting up there, and I posted a picture of me saying we're halfway there, halfway through the training, and I sent that picture to a few people, including Chantal, who I'm married to, and she wondered who it was. It doesn't look like me. It just doesn't look like me.
No, there's some facial expression. So you're almost unrecognisable.
Hang on. I did get some good comments, though. Bjorn is pushing the distance.
Bjorn. Little reference to one of our first ever voice notes, which was to Bjorn, Andy and Sarah.
Yeah. Oof. That's a lot of sweat and pinkness.
It is an incredible... I don't think I've seen a pinker photo of you.
Is this a post-hot tub picture? Great session. It was only 7 degrees, Scott.
Yeah. Oh, Scott from Australia. Thanks, Scott. Yeah. I mean, they're right. It started at 7. Did it finish at was it still 7 by the end of your run?
It was about 10 by the end.
10 degrees. Oh, toasty.
Yeah. This one.
And you're in shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
This doesn't bode well for when you run the full 42k in April, does it?
This one. Cashel, you look like a tomato in a microwave. I didn't enjoy that one. I actually didn't like that.
It's true though. You did.
Beyond to be wild. Well done. Hot tub time now. Which filter are you using there, Rick Kelsey? Luminous retinol.
The luminous retinol filter. Is that an Instagram filter? If it's not, it should be.
Yeah, I mean, the mileage is getting up there. What I've realised is you do get a bit shaky now you're in this kind of mid-mileage area,
Yeah.
Your knees get a little bit shaky.
Yeah.
And for 2 days afterwards, I'm not getting as tired, but you kind of just, you hold your hand out and it looks like you've had a massive session.
Yes.
Just from the
By massive session, you don't mean running session, do you?
No. Okay,
right.
You look like you've been on holiday for a week on a stag do or something. But it is not. It is just purely your body is adapting to that type of mileage.
In fairness to any YouTube viewers, actually every Monday morning before the makeup artists come into the Running Channel office, Rick looks like he's been on a stag do for a week. They are miracle workers.
Andy, don't forget, last week, mate, I ran more than you.
I mean,
And someone pointed that out on your Strava that I ran more than you. Now that's got to be a first, actually, hasn't it? That has got to be a first.
Yeah.
2K more.
You did run 2K more than me. I think what that person...
Sorry, that was a real big slurp then. It's like Sarah's still here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can give Sarah some stick for the heavy breathing that she often does into the microphone, which is not possible to remove from the edit. So no. What you're missing though from that key piece of information, where you're saying you ran more than me, yeah, that's true. You did on that day.
Yes,
I had my workout that day, not my long run.
But these are small details.
Yeah.
And
I had a very challenging. Weirdly, that was actually the first of 4-day consecutive runs, which were incredibly challenging for me.
Yeah, you run 4 minutes 11 seconds per kilometre. I wasn't quite.
That was the average pace. I ran a lot faster than that in
per kilometre.
That day where you were doing your longer run, I think I did, some 800s or a faster workout. Basically, it was really tough, and then it was because I'd messed up my week. So like Tuesday and Wednesday I had to take as rest days because I had too many work commitments and children's pickup commitments and stuff. I managed to do the gym, which was good, but then that meant that I'd only run on a Monday. So I'd had my 2 rest days. I'm running 5 times a week. So that meant I had to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I had a workout I came in to do really early before work on Thursday morning in London. Then a 60-minute recovery run on Friday. Then another workout, really short efforts, which was really horrible on the Saturday. And then a long run on the Sunday. Turns out short efforts with short recovery, that's what's killing me right now. I did 24 times 60 seconds with 30 seconds recovery.
24 times 60 seconds?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that much? That sounds ridiculous.
It's only 24 minutes of running. And actually my session that I'd done on the Thursday was longer than that in terms of minutes of hard running.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever heard of anyone doing 24 sets. I mean, there's no way I would not lose count.
Oh, I had it programmed into my watch.
Oh, right. Okay.
So yeah, agreed. And there's no way I'd have stayed true to those 30-second recoveries either. When you're in control of your own destiny and you're lapping the buttons.
Did you run your recovery?
I did jog my recoveries, yeah. I mean, shuffled them.
Yeah.
Because 30 seconds just isn't long enough. And the hard thing about that workout, so for anyone listening, I actually was running very similar paces in those 60-second efforts to what I've been running in much longer efforts earlier in the week. But it felt so much harder. And it's because of the slowing down and the accelerating again. So actually, running 1 minute at that pace, it takes a little bit of time to get going. I'm like a freight train. Need a little bit of inertia for me to accelerate up to pace.
The first rep, you need it to find your pace. It's like the first kilometre of a long run. I find I'm always well off, either generally too slow. Actually,
yeah, that's much better. You should be in your long run. You should be starting too slow.
Yeah,
you should be shuffling out the door, get going, get into it, and then don't even. I wouldn't even look at your watch. Then I did my. It felt very satisfying, but I did my long run at 6:30 on Sunday morning because I had to get one of the kids to football after that.
That's 6:30 a.m., not 6 minutes 30 seconds per kilometre.
Thanks, Rick. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
I felt very sort of virtuous at 8 a.m. when
You felt virtuous on a Sunday morning.
Well, I'd already run nearly a half marathon by 8 a.m. in the morning. Then I came inside and got my breakfast and then whisked the kids out the door. So
what is all this mileage for at the moment?
That's actually a really good question because I keep moving not just the goalpost but the race goal because of the nature of the kind of the work that we do here. Often it's tied to stuff that sometimes I just pick stuff and I'm like, right, I'm going to do this. Other times it's like, well, we need to be testing a pair of shoes or we need to be telling a particular story and what that might be. And so I end up talking to a couple of the guys at the running channel. I might talk to Sarah and say, what should I do? Like, what's the best way of us making a video about this thing?
And Sarah gives you a decent answer.
Well, yes, she does actually. She's generally very useful to chat to about those things. And so I had been planning on doing a half marathon in March, and then that's been pushed back, and it was then going to be in April.
You never asked me. It's weird.
No, we just tell you what to do. We don't want you to have any input at all into what you're doing. And then, but like with April and London Marathon and Boston Marathon, we're going to be at both of those. It now looks like May. So half marathon in May is what I'm training for, very early May. And also I'm going to do a 10K in the next couple of weeks.
Are you going
as
to
a
Boston?
kind of test. I'm going out to Boston, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have if anyone came to see us at the London Marathon in the last few years, then we had a clubhouse. We had a sort of cafe, pop-up space where you can come and say hello, grab a coffee, come to a few events, like a live podcast and stuff like that. And we're doing exactly the same at London this year. We'll also be doing the same at Boston. So anyone listening,
you're doing a live podcast in Boston. I didn't get that invite.
Yeah, well, we're doing.
Am I just finding out? This is another case where I find things out during a show.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We're not doing a live podcast necessarily.
Just you and Sarah.
We're doing.
No, Sarah's away. It's just you.
It's just me. Yeah. No, it'll be myself and a couple of other intrepid running channel team members. I think myself and Jess. And then for anyone else who has clocked our Tokyo Marathon video that went out recently, they'll also be able to see Aubrey out in Boston. So the three of us will be out there doing a few events and so on from an amazing space that we've got on Newbury Street, which is really close to the finish line in Boston. So any fans of the Running Channel or the Running Channel podcast, we need to see you in Boston.
God, I just feel really left out. Owen, are you going as well? No, that makes me feel better.
That's coming out.
But he is like air miles Owen now.
Yeah,
he's in Japan every other week.
I know, it's unbelievable. Yeah. Actually,
he has oshikatsu for breakfast.
That doesn't make sense, but okay. Do you know, Rick, why you're actually not coming to Boston?
No, I don't.
Do you know when Boston Marathon is?
Oshikatsu, by the way, Japanese fan culture, for anyone just wondering.
Yeah, which is why it doesn't make sense to have that for breakfast.
Well, exactly. You get involved in it from the beginning of your day. It worked in my head.
Yeah.
Go on. I just wanted to clarify that.
Boston Marathon is 6 days before London Marathon.
I don't want to go to Boston.
There we go. Here we go. So sometimes there's actually consideration for your health and well-being and performance.
I don't want to go to Boston.
No.
I was looking at my training. Does anyone else do this who's watching or listening to this? Does anyone else flick through the training plan on their phone and go, oh, I wonder what I'll feel like then? Oh, I wonder what I feel like in week 12. Oh, I'm starting to taper then. I wonder if I'll feel better. Will my legs be better by the 12th of April? Will it be less painful then? Oh, I wonder what the taper intervals will be like on the week of the 20th of April. 5 kilometer taper intervals on the Wednesday.
So is that your runner plan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you enjoying it though?
Am I enjoying it? Yeah, I am enjoying it. I feel fit and healthy and strong.
You get a buzz every Thursday. You know that we're watching out for that run.
Yeah, I get a buzz when I finish the Thursday long run. I'm so happy that I've done the long run, not at the weekends.
Yeah.
Because when you've got kids, although you think I do nothing,
we don't think that. We know that.
Kids just dominate. Like Sunday, Saturday morning, football, swimming, tennis, like the weekend, and trying to squeeze that in would just be impossible.
Do the kids play tennis, or is that just you sneaking off to play tennis against other children?
Well, I do. Elizabeth does play with me on a Sunday. But
Can she beat you yet?
But
For context, long-term listeners will probably know this, but it's a bit of a niche reference. But Rick is so bad at tennis that he's taking regular lessons on your own during the week, aren't you?
I'm the only person who's taken tennis lessons for a year and has got worse.
Yeah, but you took a game off an 8-year-old, didn't you?
Yeah, one game, 6-1.
Yeah, 8-year-old beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
She's really good though.
Yeah. Couldn't see over the net. But
she plays for the Fifths.
Right, this has got out of control. We've got an incredible guest today who is Hannah Cox. We mentioned her in the introduction. She ran 100 marathons in 100 days across India in memory of her dad. So I reckon we should welcome her onto the podcast.
Hannah Cox, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
100 marathons in 100 days across India. How are your legs? Because you are just back.
I'm just back, but I'm training for more marathons now. So my legs are fine. My legs are fine. I feel fine.
You're training for more? Hang on. More? You've done enough.
I've done enough. I think I've done enough. Well, we can get into it, but actually I did 100 marathon distance over 100 days.
Yeah.
But I was really sick halfway through, which we can get into. So I actually had a recovery day on day 56. So I ended up doing some ultra marathons as well.
To kind of compensate almost to make up for that.
So then I felt like I hadn't hit the actual 100 runs. So I wanted to hit them when I got back to the UK.
Right. And so we are recording this the beginning to middle of March. Mm-hmm. How long is it now? Is it about 5-6 weeks since you finished?
Yeah, I finished on the 2nd of February was my last day running.
And then how soon after that did you start training for these marathons you're doing? Because you're doing 2 marathons in April as well,
about
right?
a week after.
Okay.
I got really bad shin splints on day 99. We thought I had a stress fracture in my leg.
Yeah.
So I just waited for that to stop hurting when I walked and then started again.
And then it's fine, no pain?
No pain. I'm fine now.
Rick, I know you'll like me bringing it back to you. When you hopefully cross the line, euphoric, joyous in London Marathon at the end of April, a week later, do you think you'll be training for your next marathon?
Oh no, I'm retiring.
That's it. No more what, from running?
I'm so excited about my Strava graph. Just plummeting down to zero.
Yeah.
Because it was so, Andy loved up how much my Strava graph has gone up in recent weeks, but just to see that curve just really take a sharp dip at speed, it's just going to be such a pleasure. But doing one marathon is hard enough. Doing 100 is unbelievable, but going to 100 from nothing a year before, how do you even get there?
I think with most runners who are doing a race, they have a big why they're doing that race. If you're running for a race or a marathon, usually people are doing it for charity. A lot of in the UK, especially. Yeah. And actually, the whole adventure, which is what I call Project Salt Run, actually was because I was obsessed with doing that particular route in India. And actually, it wasn't originally something that I was interested in doing as a runner at all. I wasn't a runner. But I had just a series of events happen, and I ended up literally in 72 hours, somebody saying, I think you should run it. And I said, right, yeah, I'm going to try and do that. I wanted the challenge.
And what was the trigger for that
So the route that I ran in India is something called the Inland Customs Line. Yeah. So it's a 19th century customs border, basically, that ran through Pakistan and India in the 19th century to enforce a salt tax. And my father's from Calcutta, so he died in 2011, and I started to research a lot of Indian history when my dad passed away. And I learnt about this inland customs line that ran through the country, which was a huge hedge. Like, imagine like a man-made grown hedge.
Like a hedge, like in a garden.
Where you stash your bottles.
A garden.
I'd be putting water
hedge.
bottles
You'd love
in
it.
And my shoes.
Yeah.
For
shoes.
workouts,
Yeah, so
all sorts of, he leaves a suitcase in there some days.
Why not? I mean, so you would have been able to fit a lot in this hedge. It was about 18 foot high, 16 foot deep. Wow. Hedges are man-made things. Yeah. So hedges don't exist unless they're maintained by humans, essentially. So you might get bushes or trees, but you wouldn't get a hedge. And basically the British built this huge hedge that ran through the country that had about 12 to 14,000 British Army officers man it to enforce a salt tax. And it was called the Great Hedge of India. And it was basically about the length of the UK to Istanbul. So it was just...
That's fascinating.
And that's 4,200 kilometres.
Yeah, it was... The hedge was slightly shorter because they use like rivers and stuff as some of the barrier. But it is a fascinating story. There's a book about it. I read the book, was fascinated by the book, thought the idea of travelling the length of it to discover the country that my dad was from would be a really cool adventure to do.
Yeah.
Originally, I'd planned to do it in a tuk-tuk or car or motorbike or something.
That sounds much more appetizing.
Yeah, much
definitely.
more of your street, isn't it?
Yeah. But then I had travelled to India to go and visit the hedge in 2018, had to come back for personal reasons, didn't actually get to do the route.
Yeah.
And then I became friends. I was friends with a guy who just got really into ultra running. He was doing something called the Paddy Buckley, which is a 24-hour race in the Welsh Mountains. And I was support crewing him. And he suggested that
And this was before you were even a runner though, right?
Yeah, I didn't actually... When I was support crew, I was the driver because I couldn't run 5K. And he said, I think you should...
And you'd never run, like even as a
I didn't... I've done...
a child or
no,
like teenager?
I'm not sporty at all.
Yeah.
No, when my dad passed away in 2011, I've got three sisters, they did a half marathon in his memory. So I kind of got guilted into that because I thought if I don't do that, then I'm the one that didn't love him. So, but I didn't train for that. And it was in Brighton at the time. I lived in London, and I remember getting the train back and I couldn't actually stand up when I was trying to get off the train.
From a half
Because I didn't train for it.
Yeah.
And that was the only running that I'd done.
Wow. I just think...
And that was 15 years before. 2012 or something.
But it must have been in you. Like for someone to go from nothing to everything when it comes to a sport, it must have been in you somewhere.
Do you think it's down to that cause and the reality of being like, well, I'm super motivated to do this, so I'm just going to work out how to do it?
Yeah. I think once I decided I was going to run it, it was like, how do we reverse engineer that happening?
Yeah.
So it was like, I gave myself 18 months to go from the decision to do the run to setting out to do the run. and then just reverse engineered it from that. Had met a running coach, Nina Davies, who's one of the co-founders of the Green Runners, and so she put together a training plan for me, and I just was consistent and just did that.
Did you, even when you did you have doubts, or were you just like, right, day one, I can't run, but I'm going to go from here to here in 18 months and I'm not even going to think about it? Or at various points you're like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Well, lots of what am I doing?
Yeah.
But it was very much a case of like the small steps. So my first one was like, let me see if I can run an ultra marathon. So I gave myself 6 months to do that. And within 5 months, I did my first ultra in the Peak District, one called the Lady Bower, which is 52k. And once I did that, that's when I then was like, right, I'm going to start telling people I'm doing Project Salt Run. So that's when I kind of publicly announced.
You had it in your head, but you hadn't dared to say it out loud.
It is when you say it out loud.
Yeah.
Because that means you can't go back.
You can't go back. This is it.
And that sets the expectation.
Yeah.
That's what we did with Rick. We got him to say it out loud on the podcast.
Yeah.
And then
It's such a powerful tool, saying things out loud.
100%. So I said it out loud, and then I had, to be honest, there's so much to organise, not just the run. We had to pay for the trip, organise the logistics. It was a world first. We were basically mapped the route from a 1874 map, which is in the British Library.
Yeah, is the hedge still there?
We managed to find one piece of hedge that still exists in a village.
Right. Okay,
about 2 weeks into the trip. No, because it's 150 years ago. And it's not manned, but we did manage to find some of the Inland Customs Line path about 2 weeks into the trip as well, which was amazing.
Do you know what, Hannah, what I really like about what you've done is the fact that, a lot of people, and I've been pretty critical of some celebs who've done crazy challenges and they've gone out to different parts of the world and they've had the money and the backing and the superstar status to be able to take a month off work or 2 months off work and go and do a challenge when many people wouldn't have the ability to do that. But what I like what you've done is you've done it not only for your family, but you've also done it for 4 great causes, and you've raised an absolute fortune.
Yeah, I'm really, really proud of that. There was obviously a team behind it. But yeah, to be able to do, I think that was the reason. I think when my friend suggested running it, I was like, well, why would I? If you're going to run something like that, you have to do it for a cause. And I was really proud of that. And like you said, we're not celebrities. In fact, I think when I finished the run, we had just hit 5,000 Instagram followers.
Yeah.
So, we really were lucky to have a really core, dedicated group of people that believed in what we were doing. Yeah. And for that charity fundraising, we had over 1,000 individuals had contributed.
And you fundraised through GiveStar. And that's actually, GiveStar are also the fundraising platform that Russ Cook used when he ran the whole length of Africa, the hardest geezer. So you've done another equally incredible feat. And one of the, I suppose, special propositions of GiveStar is you can raise for up to 4 charities, which you did. We'll come back to those in a minute.
Yeah.
And we've actually got, we'll mention it now, anyone that's fundraising right now, specifically in the UK, to run a marathon, if they were to do it via GiveStar, they can use the code Marathon 2026, and you get given a £100 voucher to spend on yourself to buy running shoes, whatever you might need, as long as you raise £200.
That's amazing.
And you can bring across any of your fundraising from other platforms. So even if you've already started on one of the other platforms that you might know about, you can bring all of that across to GiveStar. So that's
and you get the voucher.
And you get the vouchers.
Yes. Yeah. And also you can use the app, and you can do with the GiveStar app, you can do contactless payments effectively. So if you're sat in the pub with Rick, who's obviously never going to get home and get his phone out and donate, but if I get him to tap his card on my phone with the GiveStar app, you could actually donate right now.
Force it on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the GiveStar app's actually, that's the best thing about GiveStar is that mobile app you have, because you can just get people to donate straight away. Yeah. And they know 100% of their money is going to charity as well, because it just goes directly to the charities.
Yeah, and you had 4 charities, right? And they're all, there's a theme, an environmental theme generally, I think.
Yeah, so I run a sustainability consultancy and a network called the Better Business Network. Yeah. So everything I do is around how a business is, making the world a better place. There is a non-profit called 1% for the Planet, which was started by co-founded by Patagonia, a brand a lot of runners will know. And it's essentially is a non-profit which encourages all businesses in the world to give 1% of their revenue to high impact non-profits. So how it works is you'll probably see it on a lot of food and drink things now that I've said it. But essentially any business that has a 1% for the planet logo on basically as a license means that they give 1% of their revenue to charity. And that might be a social or environmental cause important to that business's heart. So it's basically about funneling resources and finances to charities. So I've been a huge advocate of 1%. My business is a 1% for the planet business. People in our network, we encourage them to join. And then we chose 3 charities that really highlighted some of the great work that the 1% charities do that are 1% charities. So there was Frank Water, which is all about clean drinking water and education. So they do a lot of work in India. Big Change, which is about reimagining education and encouraging young kids to get involved in social impact. And Client Earth, which is quite a cool law firm which represents the earth. So they take businesses and the government to court when they haven't done good work for the planet.
Not all lawyers are bad.
Not all lawyers, yeah.
Not all lawyers, Rick.
Client Earth is good. So we wanted to highlight some of the 1% charities, but ultimately it was all one kind of 1% for the planet.
Yeah, so, most lawyers are great.
And so is that like you get, like what's the toughest point in the 4,200 kilometers in the 100 days? Like what was the toughest point? And then are you pulling on that as your motivation? Like the charity side of things, like I'm doing this for...
Yeah.
Or are you thinking more about like your own personal connection, or is it just a combination of those things?
I mean, there was lots of stressful things about the trip. I think probably one of the difficult things we had was the logistics of it, doing a challenge that big. About a week before we came out, we didn't have the right visas in place. So we had to cut off doing the whole Pakistan part of the challenge. So we had to redo the route.
How much visas play into this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Russ Cook, I remember he put out when he was traveling, running across Africa, that he couldn't get into, I think it was Algeria. And he put out this call, and he was basically using Twitter to go, hang on, I'm literally stuck on the border. I can't get through here.
Let me in the country, yeah.
They play such a pivotal role in these challenges. Yeah,
definitely. So we had the visa issue before we went out. And then actually when we went out, all the team, all my support crew had paid roles. Yeah. Apart from me, I did the challenge for free. And we went out, and when we flew out, I had about enough money in the bank for 3 weeks runway. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay everybody. I don't know how I'm going to pay for our food, how I'm going to pay for the fuel.
Gosh, so there must have been quite a lot of pressure on you.
So where did that? Yeah.
So how did you fix it?
Well, we luckily we were just promoting and fundraising, and we had a different platform. We were fundraising money for the expedition, which was called Crowdfunder. So it was very clear to people, if you give us money, this is what this money goes on, this is what that money goes on. And we were hoping by the time we got to India, we would just be talking about GiveStar, but unfortunately, we were still trying to fund the
whole thing,
the logistics thing. Yeah.
Can we talk about what it was like on your body and how you prepared your body strength-wise to be able to deal with that challenge?
Yeah, so obviously training for it was obviously just a lot of time on feet. Yeah. My training was probably very different from both of yours training, because you train for speed. So
I don't think Rick does.
I train for survival, Hannah.
Okay.
Well, maybe that's
more
relevant.
I've been listening to this podcast long enough to know that's live. Okay.
Well, no, he doesn't deliberately train for speed. He just has one pace, which is quite fast. So that's his problem. But no, I would definitely say that's true for me. Yeah.
So when I was doing my training, Nina's runs for me were go out for 40 minutes or run for 20 kilometers. Not that I can do 20k in 40 minutes, but it was there was never a pace set. It was like I had to do a timed run, and it didn't matter what the distance was, or I had to do a distance run. It didn't matter what the time was. So it was all about time on feet.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then my strength was just trying to fit in around that. So I basically, and I didn't have time to go to the gym because I don't have a car. So I was basically had a kettlebell at home and a kettlebell in the office. So I was just doing kettlebell workouts, either pre or post run, to get that strength and conditioning training in, which I think was really, really important.
She didn't actually go to the gym. This was all home or office workouts.
I didn't know. I'm not a member of the gym.
That's great.
We always say this to Sarah, because Sarah hates strength work. And we always say you don't have to go to the gym.
No.
You just put in time and do it consistently.
Yeah.
And push your muscles so that you train them to be able to deal with the pain and endurance.
And that's what kettlebells are great for, actually, for that.
And they don't have to be super heavy, right? Like, as long as you do enough of them that it feels fatiguing.
Yeah, mine are like 10K.
Yeah.
So they're not very heavy ones.
Right. So were you worried about the robustness of it? Like I would be worried about two things. I don't think necessarily be thinking about, I think I would be worried about the mentality of it, like doing it for 100 days in a row. I think I could compartmentalize the total distance and sort of chip it away at it one day at a time. But I think knowing I was going to have to do it, the attrition of it, and I would also just be worried about getting hurt and sore and how much I was going to have to run through and whether I'd actually even get to day 4 or 5, let alone day 100. So yeah, what were you thinking about? What were you worried about?
I mean, I was worried about all of that.
Okay.
But as I've mentioned, there was so many things to worry about. Maybe I'd be more worried about it if I had just the running to worry about, but I had everything else also to worry about.
The pressure of the team. The
pressure of the team, being the team leader, making sure that the team didn't see how stressed I was, because then they would be stressed too.
Yeah.
But for the running, we interviewed, me and Joelle, who was one of the team I went out with, we interviewed a couple of ultra runners before we went. And the overwhelming kind of response was from anyone that had done a long challenge, like multi-day challenge, was the first 2 or 3 weeks will be awful. But if you can get through that, you'll be fine. Yeah. So in my head, I was like, well, I just need to get through the first couple of weeks and then I'll be fine.
Did that work out to be true?
Well, it was true that they were awful.
Oh, right.
Did they get any less awful then?
They got less awful, but it was true. The first 2 weeks, I was like, I don't know how I can do this. But then I was remembering that there was apparently the light at the end of the tunnel on day, like kind of 20. And
80. I mean, I found it hard enough in one marathon getting to 5K and going, oh God, I've got 37K to go, let alone getting to day 20 and going, I've got 80 days of this to go.
Yeah, because it's impossible to recover. It's active recovery. Every day is active recovery. So I suppose that's where your nutritional strategy must have really kicked in.
I mean,
no?
I mean, it's,
did you have a nutritional strategy?
Okay, so because of the challenge, and it was going across a country, we weren't staying in hotels. We all slept in a van together.
Yeah.
When we got there, we realised the van didn't have a fridge or a freezer.
How did you do this, Hannah? How did this actually work?
Well,
yeah, I hadn't really thought about this. I don't think I'd been imagining that you were in sort of 5-star hotels.
No.
But at the same time, I hadn't imagined that you were in a van with your whole crew.
Yeah, a van with the whole crew.
So how many of you in the van?
So there was 6 of us. There was driver and a helper. So in India, your van comes with a driver and a helper. You can't drive it yourself. And then it slept us 4 in the back. Although
what
occasionally,
kind of size van are we talking about? Like a transit van?
Yeah, like a slightly bigger than a transit van, but not huge. We were in bunk beds. If you go onto our Instagram, you can see the van. And that was basically because that was the only van I could find that we could afford.
Yeah.
The original plan had been a van for me, a van for the crew, and a support vehicle.
Yeah.
Obviously that shrunk down.
Evaporated.
Yeah. It evaporated. And then
no fridge, no freezer.
No fridge, no freezer. And then the food was, because we were often in very remote places, so there weren't supermarkets, there weren't restaurants. We would, I ate a lot of rice, a lot of eggs, a lot of porridge in the morning. I just pretty much ate the same meals. I am not a huge fan of protein shakes and stuff. I just prefer real food. I prefer training on real food. I've never had a gel in my life.
Still?
Never to this day. I've still never had a gel.
Proud moment. Did you? So if you didn't have, so you had nowhere to keep food fresh, obviously. Yeah. Did you have, like, how from a hygiene perspective, like how are you keeping, like, washing hands and all that sort of stuff?
Well, didn't it get a bit tricky?
It got a bit tricky. I mean, there were roadside in India along the national highway. They're called dhabas. They're like roadside restaurants, but they're definitely the kind of places, if you're eating from them, you don't want to look in the kitchen before you order your meal.
Right.
We ate vegetarian the whole trip.
Yeah.
I think that definitely helped with illness, but every single person on the trip got sick.
Yeah.
I was actually towards the end of the trip, Natalie was in hospital and she couldn't run for nearly the last 2 weeks of the trip. She was one of the support runners and did all the socials. I was really sick twice. About day 25, 26, I was projectile vomiting for 2 days. And
running at the same time?
Running a marathon, yeah.
Do you think that you probably should have stopped?
No, because I had to do 100. So if I was going to quit after just being a bit sick on day 25, I was never going to finish. And then on day 49, that was probably the illest I ever was. I was being sick for about 12 hours. And then I ran a marathon every day for another 7 days. And then I ended up in a medical centre and taking a full day recovery and then carried on.
There's a limit though, isn't there? Because you can push yourself so far and then you go, well, actually, this is dangerous.
I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I mean, if you have a niggle in your knee when you're running, I would say stop running. Yeah. And definitely when I was training, if I felt any sort of niggles, I would stop my runs. Yeah. And I would say to Nina, I don't want to push myself because if I get injured, that's 6 weeks off. So from a normal running training for anything perspective, I'm definitely not a push through, make it happen.
But once you're on this 100-day challenge.
But once you're on a 100-day challenge and you have to finish it in the 100 days, people have given you money to be able to do it. You've got a lot of support. Your friends have all done sabbaticals from work and taken time off. For me, I felt I had to do it. So I was in it.
Did you have a mantra? Like all mantras? Were you at the dark moments, like you're 30k in on a particular day, you've been sick on previous days, you're like, oh my God, this is awful. What are you saying to yourself to get through that? Like, that's a kind of mental toughness I'm not sure I have.
I mean, it was tough. I was saying to you before we started, I listened to a lot of podcasts when I was running. Yeah. So lots of
including this one.
Including this one.
Did Sarah's breathing into the mic really help you keep going?
It did. I was like, who's here?
Someone's heavy breathing in my ears.
So actually, that was a really good... I had lots of distraction techniques when I was running. So sometimes it would be Natalie or Alex or Joelle occasionally would come out on part of the run with me. So I'd have someone to talk to. Yeah. And then I had like loads of different things I'd do. So I would have podcasts I'd be listening to 4 or 5 different podcasts, I had a couple of books I was listening to. I had different types of music I like listening to. My only rule that I had for myself is if I stopped running, I had to see a point in the distance, which was when I would start running again. Yeah. So that might be, I'll just run to the next lamppost, or I'd literally try and be like squinting for like the furthest away thing I could find and then walk.
Distraction's brilliant, isn't it?
But then when I hit that, I had to start again.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Well, you've mentioned some of the people that came with you and that one of them was doing your socials. I was telling this story because you want to document it, right? You want people to see the hardship and also the money they've either donated for the, I'm going to call it expedition because that's what it was, or for the charities is like, this is what you're actually doing. How can people then now, if they wanted to go and see all of that or like to donate or where should they go? Yeah,
so it's called Project Salt Run because I was running along a salt path, essentially. It was Natalie and Joelle were doing most of the socials. Joelle was only actually out for the first 50 odd days and then he left. He had another expedition to go on because that's his full-time job. So it was me, Natalie and Alex for the last half of the trip. And that was actually quite key for me, is having someone out that could do the socials, because I did meet Russ Cook before going away and he said,
You said don't do it.
Well, I think he didn't think I was going to do it. I'm sure he gets lots of people come up to him and tell them they've got crazy running challenges. And I think having that, being able to tell the story as you go is a really important part of the trip. And to be honest, I didn't have the energy to be putting out reels and carousels every day.
I think that's fair enough.
I think it's completely fair enough.
I think what you've done is absolutely amazing, and we're excited to find out how you get on, because it's Brighton and London next, did you say? Oh no, Brighton.
Brighton and London. So when I was really sick, basically I had a day where I got about half a marathon in, and I had basically just not stopped being sick, and I had breakfast being sick, then I had my checkpoint and was sick. And I thought, you know what, I am going to have to go to a hospital. It's been over a week now, I've lost loads of weight. The team was actually like, we're not comfortable supporting you when we can see what's happening. And then actually the next day I did actually do another half, but I walked it. And then the following day I took the full day off. So in my head, I've only achieved 98 marathons. So when I came back to the UK, I was like, I want to finish the 100 for my head. So I balanced that by doing ultra marathons. So I hit the 100 marathon distance while I was in India and doing signing up to Brighton and London.
Do you have any fear of taking on that marathon?
Yes, I do actually, because, well, twofold really. India was hard. I'm not saying it wasn't hard, but it was my sole focus. So I would run to give people an idea of what my schedule would look like. It would be get up, do my stretches, have some breakfast, run 15 kilometers, have a huge meal, run another 15 kilometers, have another huge meal, and have my feet checked by a chiropodist. No, I had Tame Psychopody, shout out. Alex came out and I have no blisters on my feet.
Really?
My feet are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Changed my trainers at 30k and then ran my final 12k of the day, and then again had another meal, then had a shower, then had another meal. So I basically so it was the focus for the day. The thing about Brighton and London is
you can't do that.
One, I can't sit down and have a meal.
Yeah. I mean, Rick would be there.
I would love that. If someone wants to wait at 15k and 30k,
that might stop him retiring after London. If he knows that the next marathon, he can have a 3-course meal at halfway.
I'm in.
Imagine stopping on Tower Bridge.
That's how you'd sell me an ultra.
So on Tower Bridge, someone comes out and there's like a silver service dinner laid out. With the little platter that they lift the lid on.
Special. Oh, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Actually, Tower Bridge is actually my kind of fear point for London Marathon, because when I ran it 9 years ago, it was just after that you've got all the crowds and they pump your adrenaline and you're like, right. But afterwards, it just dies
off. It's a bit quieter, right?
Is it not the bridge?
And that's the bit where I lost it straight after.
When's the tunnel? This is what I've heard about the tunnel.
That's about 1920.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, is the tunnel.
Where it's just
miles.
No noise. Well, that'll be a bit more familiar with India, right? There must have been places where you're not seeing anybody.
It's weirdly long,
I've heard that tunnel is just, do you know what, like almost like the dystopian apocalypse of people puking.
Oh, really? Because people can't be seen in there, so that's when they're like,
what it is, because no one can see you. What's weird is I've lived in London for a long time, years, and I've never been through that tunnel. So I'm not sure if it only exists
in real life.
Just fever dream.
It's only there.
It's not a real place. It's a mirage.
It's somewhere in East London.
I don't think you can imagine a mirage during a marathon. That would be
no. Anyway, Hannah, stick around, because we've got a very interesting question to ask you in our news section this week.
Excellent, can't wait.
So, the LA Marathon has recently taken place, and the organisers decided that despite it being warm, 26 degrees Celsius.
I think at 10 a.m., 26 degrees, 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
They were going to allow people to take a shortcut if they didn't feel like they could finish the marathon. However...
because it was hot.
Because it was so hot. Yeah, however, those people who took the shortcut and did not do the marathon were still offered a marathon finishing medal. Now, the key part of this is it's a marathon finishing
So I think we saw the comms that went out from organisers, because obviously they've got to do the right thing by participants and say, like, we know it's going to be hot. When you get to this point in the course, I think it was about 18 miles, you had the option to take effectively a shortcut back to the finish from a health and safety perspective. So if you were struggling, didn't think you were going to be able to get to the finish, and like the heat was really impacting you, you could do that. And so I think that's a good thing, right? They've done those comms ahead of the race, saying like,
I disagree hugely with that.
Oh, you don't think they should have given people an out?
Hannah's going to take my role. Yeah. So I agree with Hannah.
Okay. Hit me.
I think there's two issues with that with me. Is one, it shouldn't be, you should be allowed to DNF a race without knowing your own body. So I feel like if you were running and you were like, I don't think I can finish this race, there's not shame put into that. And I feel like by putting a shortcut, it's saying you can't just not finish. You have to finish somehow. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on that. And
you mean it might stop people from just stopping on the roadside and calling it a day?
Yeah.
You mean they think they have to make it back to the finish to feel like okay.
And I also just think like, well, you shouldn't get the marathon finishers medal anyway unless you've done the marathon.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it also pushes this sort of like story of like you have to finish within a certain time. Like you can walk.
Yeah.
Like I think the rhetoric more should have been around the comms, which is it's hot, you need to hydrate, it's okay to walk during a marathon, to get to the finish.
Couldn't have said it better.
So you're not even going to get involved, Rick?
I'm not even going to. I'm not going to say anything. I think it's strange, and I think
it's strange to give the medal. Yeah,
the marathon distance for people. We're in spring marathon season, and people are training really hard, and you get the medal because you've completed a marathon. They've given out a medal to a marathon race to people who've not done it, and I think that's bizarre, and it cheapens the distance.
I mean, that's pretty strong, but I think.
And here's Andy with a different opinion.
Oh no!
Give everybody a medal.
I'm with you. Like, I think if you haven't done the distance, then why would you even want the finisher's medal? That's the thing.
And then I also think by having a shortcut, surely that's going to involve, if you're an organizer, and I put my event organizer's hat on, you're going to have to organise the shortcut bit as well. So you're stretching your team even more. And you're stretching your team even more because you also don't know how many people might take that shortcut. Yeah. So you're having to manage that as an event organizer. You don't know what if 80% of people decided to do that. And then what does that mean? Like you said, what does that mean about your event that 80% of people chose not to finish it?
And the people who did do it as well, you'll have people who took the shortcut of, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 kilometers, whatever, who will come in ahead of the people who've done the whole thing.
Yeah.
So their position is actually a false position because they've been overtaken by people who have not completed the distance.
It's a strange one. I'm totally on board with taking measures to let people know it's going to be really hot. Yeah. And I agree with you that, and probably the cutoffs at big marathons like London has an incredibly and increasingly generous cutoff.
What is it?
I want to say it's 8 or 9 hours. I don't know for sure. Mm-hmm. So, but there's been stories in the past, right, where people got caught up with the people kind of the I don't know. I think
that was me in 2019.
Yeah, but then there are others like Valencia has an incredibly, I don't know how strict the cutoff is, but it's a very fast cutoff. It's like 5.5 hours, I think.
Yeah,
which is very different.
Yeah, that's very hard.
And then you see, I saw a social media video the other day of the Tokyo Marathon. They have a very strictly enforced cutoff, right? And that they're literally, there's people there waiting at a certain time point on the course to pull a piece of tape across the course. And there's police and course
police.
I don't know if it's police. They looked official. Yeah. And then they're just ushering people off the course. And you saw someone get there literally at the exact moment.
And the people after it,
and they're like, no, sorry, you can't. Like,
I quite like that.
So yeah, there's going to be logistics about road closures and how long you can let people do it for. But yeah, making sure you've got enough water, telling people not to chase a PB, all that sort of stuff. I think most people there want to run the full distance. Great. And you're right that if you don't feel great and you need medical assistance, then go and seek that out. Don't
push yourself for a race.
Yeah.
She says the woman, I had diarrhea for 3 weeks, kept going.
I do feel like saying, listen to what I say, not what I do. But from a race perspective, I think that's definitely the way in which it should be approached.
Right. Questions?
Hi guys, or should I say labas iš Lietuvos. 4 years ago, I decided to follow my dreams and I moved from Philadelphia in the States to Vilnius in Lithuania. It's amazing here and it's a great place to run and you should really stop by. So in May, I'm going to be running my second ever marathon in Cape Town and I'm beyond excited, but now I have a problem because I just found out that no headphones are allowed. How am I going to run without Lizzo cheering me on? I need the kind of help only an Olympian, an avid marathon runner, and a guy named Rick could give. How can I best prepare to run 42K with only the thoughts in my head? Thanks a lot, guys. Oh, and P.S. I have a black lab named Archibald, or Archie to his friends, so I think that name's out for Rick. Sorry.
Oh, well,
there's a lot of information there.
I love that.
Wow.
So please, if you do have the chance to send us a voice note, we would love to have them. So it's podcast@therunningchannel.com. And that means you get your question read out by yourself on the channel. And then we'll try our best to answer it.
Ashley in Lithuania.
I love that Lizzo is the go-to. That's really conjuring an image for me.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. So first, in the marathon that she's taking on in South Africa, you're not allowed to have headphones on.
Yeah.
Not even shocks then, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because often in the UK, like the rules are, I don't know how well they're enforced, to be fair, in the big marathons like London and stuff. You see people with AirPods in and stuff, right? But the official England athletics rules would be only bone conducting headphones, so open ear headphones, so that you can actually hear your surroundings and hear safety announcements and stuff.
I literally had a pair of kind of Beats, kind of massive.
What, over-ear headphones?
Over-ear headphones for what
when you ran the marathon?
When I ran the marathon.
Of course you did.
Did you not know this story?
What, do you think you're actually Dr. Dre?
I literally had. They were so big. And I was looking for Chantal and my mum the whole way around, just trying to get rid of these massive massive
Have you
wire.
got photos of the marathon from 2017?
Can
we dig them out and post them on Running Channel Club?
We'll dig them out somewhere. And I ended up carrying them the whole way around. Oh gosh, talk about a lack of preparation. However, I didn't know that. I would say first up to Ashley, the difference that you're going to have not running it and being able to hear people in that race environment compared to your training environment is going to actually give you a lot of support, I think. But by listening to other runners and other people all for the marathon environment.
Yeah, I wore headphones for every single one of my long runs for my marathon training, but not for the race. And it was a gamble because I was like, but I wanted to soak it up, and you're kind of, Ashley's having their hand forced and they can't wear them. I would just say embrace it. Because I imagine that the kind of the music and the noise en route in Cape Town would be something else.
Absolutely amazing.
Did you wear headphones throughout the whole time?
But there weren't crowds lining the routes.
No, there were not crowds. But I used to think people that ran without headphones were sociopaths. I had friends that did it, and I'd think, what the hell?
They ran without headphones?
Yeah, without headphones.
Which is worse, running without headphones or going sock shoe?
What do you mean sock shoe?
And how you put your socks and
so if you were getting dressed to go for a run, if you're getting dressed to go, I would go sock, so both socks first,
yes,
and then both shoes.
That's how I would do it as well, unless I was swimming.
You've got no idea what we're talking about.
I don't know what's happening right now.
So when you got dressed this morning,
I put my socks on, then I put my shoes on.
Yeah, like a normal person.
Well, who's doing the weird thing?
Well, the same people that might be running without headphones.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's a psychopath thing.
I get it. It's a psychopath thing.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get it. I really didn't get it. And then
even for parkrun, I'd never run a parkrun with headphones.
Well, but then in my training, I did start doing running without my headphones because I wasn't sure. Even though I took shocks out to India, I'm not sponsored. I tried to tag them loads of times. They never even reposted us.
Okay, so other bone conducting headphones are available.
Other bone conducting headphones are available. I just happen to wear those. I wasn't sure actually how safe I would feel even with those in running, because I ran along a lot of national highways on my own, and it was really dangerous. And it was really dangerous. So actually a lot of time I did not have headphones in because I was like, I might get hit by a lorry. But that said, then there would be times where I'd be on country roads and not have headphones in because it's just talking to myself.
Talking to yourself
in my head.
I think you've got
so maybe
to
Ashley should be having a little inner monologue during the race.
You've got to embrace it, and it gives you a time to talk to yourself, encourage yourself more when you haven't got them in.
Can we just use this moment at the end of the podcast now to get an insight into Rick's inner monologue? So on a long run, what's your inner voice telling you? You look good. You look good. Ooh, I look good. Ooh, you look good. I look good. Ooh, don't I look good? Just every mirror that you get a chance to run past, or every shop window.
No, I've always have the two voices that are always there. The faster you run, the quicker you finish.
Yes.
Good.
And then slow and steady wins the race.
Yes, the conflict.
The conflict. I always have the battle. I always have the battle going on. But I think having your own thoughts and not having music is so useful. On a long run, I'll take it out because I'm just on my own. So I will take music with me. But just for short stuff and for races, gosh, the power of your own thought, Ashley, is going to be brilliant for you.
Should we wrap up then with a very quick fire? Rick, one track. Ashley's saying Lizzo, although not going to be able to listen to it in Cape Town. If you had one track, what's it going to be? And I'm going to come to you in a minute, Hannah. God. So you've got to think. The one go-to running song.
It's probably going to be Will Smith, Miami.
Because you can rap the entire intro.
The whole thing.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, you're an idiot. Fine. Can't think of a worse running song.
It'll just get me going again. Yeah.
I'm gonna. While you're thinking, Hannah, I'm gonna go.
It's too hard.
I'm gonna go Chemical Brothers, Push the Button.
Oh God, he's got. You see, what this has shown is that Andy's trying to prove that he has a sophisticated taste in music, and I'm just,
an idiot.
One trick wonder.
Yeah. Well, it's just any excuse. We're not gonna pull out of the archives you rapping Miami. And Hannah, if you don't want to pick, you don't have to.
Once,
but you can maybe pick an artist.
Yeah,
you've done it on the podcast.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, I mean, I have a song that I do listen to most days, but it's not really a running song. I really like the opening song in Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, so I love a good. It's John Williams.
John Williams,
right?
John Williams. Yeah.
And that's quite an epic one to listen to when you're
That's my kit. That's literally my kitchen radio.
Yeah.
Play John Williams.
Yeah, the John Williams playlist.
I literally just play.
There we go.
Yeah. I tell you what, I got really into recently. The Ghost soundtrack. It's probably before our time. Do you remember a film called Ghost?
Yes.
It was like our parents' time, but I remember them playing it in the kind of the 90s when I was in school. The Ghost soundtrack,
That's so specific.
Absolutely epic. Unchained Melody. Might put that on in the marathon.
Unchained Melody, not the Robson and Jerome version.
No, I'm sure it's Unchained Melody. If I'm wrong, I'd like to apologise, but I think that is the case.
Yeah.
I was actually listening to it on the way in this morning, mixing a bit of Unchained Melody with Charlie Puth. But there you go. You get everything on this show.
Yes, you do. And what's fascinating in this one is that it's not that long ago since Rick used to be the one fastidiously keeping us to time and trying to wrap us up. And here he is banging on about the Ghost soundtrack.
Yes. Anyway, Hannah, thank you so much for coming on the programme. It's been absolutely ace to have you.
Thank you for having me.
I think you're a bit of a nutter, but, you did it.
And we're wishing you lots of luck for Brighton and London.
Thank you so much.